Hey guys, so today we're unboxing and putting together this new baker's rack that Garvee sent me. And here are the tools I'll be using: a box cutter to open the box and a screwdriver. So I've been desperately needing some extra storage in my kitchen, and this one even comes with a built-in power outlet, which is a huge game changer for all my small appliances. Right off the bat, everything seems really well packaged. I'm just going to pull all these pieces out and lay them flat on the floor. And while I take each piece out, I'm noticing that all the screw holes are pre-drilled and every piece is labeled. And they also include the installation instructions. And here's all the screws and bolts, and they even threw in an Allen key and a mini screwdriver. So I've got everything laid out on the floor so I can find each part really easily. There are 14 steps in total to get this fully built, so let's dive right in. For step 1 and 2, we're going to frame out the top of the baker's rack first. And this is what it looks like with the shelf screwed in at the very top. For step 3 and 4, we're going to add brackets to it, and this is what it looks like. Over to step number 5, we're going to add a couple of metal plates so we can bolt this to the wall and prevent it from tipping over. And this is what those brackets look like. Now for step number 6, we will build out the framing for the lower half of the baker's rack. And this is what the framing looks like. And by the way, it's a metal framing, so the rack is going to be super solid, perfect for placing heavy kitchen appliances like microwaves, coffee makers, and grills. For steps 7, 8, and 9, we'll screw in the 3 tabletops. For the middle shelf, it's actually adjustable, so you can place it lower or higher depending on what you need to store on the shelves. And this is what it looks like. Over to step 10, we'll add the feet, which by the way are completely adjustable, perfect for floors that are slightly slanted, or if half your rack will be standing on carpet and the other half on tiled flooring like I'm showing you here. For step number 11, we're going to add 2 long rods to the back of the lower half of the baker's rack in a crisscross pattern so that it looks something like this. Everything screws in place perfectly, and the rods will provide extra stability to the baker's. For step 12 and 13, we'll install the power outlet that comes with the baker's rack. And just to let you know, you can install this power outlet on either side of the baker's rack. So if you have one side of the rack up against a wall, you can install the power outlet on the other side. And just to test it out, here's the power button. And now I can plug in up to 4 appliances. For the final step, don't forget to bolt the baker's rack into the wall, and then when you're done, you're ready to hang the metal hooks. You get a total of 6, and these are great if you want to hang coffee mugs or utensils. So here's a wide shot of my kitchen with the baker's rack off to one wall. And now let's get a closer look at the baker's rack. You can see there's plenty of storage with the 3 tabletops. I've got pots and pans on the bottom, some plates and dishes along with an electric pot on the second shelf, and then for the top shelf, I've got my huge instant pot, a kettle, and some daily essentials. I also have some wooden utensils hung up on the metal hooks, and I have some containers to store dried goods and other supplies on the top shelf. So as you can see, this baker's rack can really free up a lot of counter space. The instructions were super easy to follow, and in fact, I put this up all by myself in less than 2 hours. And now I can keep my kitchen appliances and daily use essentials neatly organized and easy to reach.